thank you for getting started.
Sure. Sorry about the craziness back and forth.
No, all good.
Goodbye.
Hey, everybody, let's just wait a few minutes for folks to show up. Let's see. Okay. We're just giving it a few minutes for people to show up. Hope everybody's doing good.
No complaints.
I'm still catching up from
COVID.
being out over the holidays, and okay. Let's see who is. Oh, still folks showing up.
Nora just sent an email that she's having computer troubles, but she's hoping to be in soon.
Okay. And I think she's the only one from the committee who is not here yet.
And Nora was the designated secretary last time.
Okay, so
She was the volunteer recorder last time.
Oh, sorry.
in
Volunteer.
the,
She was
in the meantime,
volunteer designated.
let me just let everybody know that we are recording this.
Yep.
So if you do not want to be recorded, then you can find a solution to that. And can we get a volunteer for a note taker?
Lily.
Okay, thank you so much. Oh. Okay, so we have quite the turnout. I guess since we do have kind of a full agenda, let's just get started, and hopefully Nora will be along once she gets her computer stuff taken care of. So the first thing I'd like to do is let's approve the summer 2023 minutes. So were there any issues that anyone found with the latest minutes? Do you want me to
Yeah, post it on. Can you share it?
drop it in the, let me
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, just put it in the minutes.
Yeah.
Those are the summer 2022 minutes.
Oh,
We're looking at the
thank you.
2023 minutes.
Thank
Just a moment. Not a
you.
problem.
Here we go.
Yeah.
There we go. And it's just 2023 because we only had the one meeting.
Right.
No,
Oh,
it looks
no.
good to me. So no issues here. Oh, Daniel, we should put it in the chat. Who's attending? This way we have that for record.
Well, it should be in the participants list.
Thank you. Hi, Nora, welcome.
Hi, sorry.
Not a problem.
All
You're
good.
on time.
It's a great idea, though. I think it would be helpful to the recorder if people were, put their names and institutions in the chat. We can also get it from the recording, but it's,
Right.
better to have a backup.
And also some people, their, Zoom, profile does not,
Best, yeah.
specify, so that would be helpful, yes. Okay, so can we have a vote on accepting the minutes?
I'm just seeing,
Yes.
it says if you have questions about the system numbers in Merchav to speak with Ava or Avi. Avi is the Dicta project. He's not related to the catalog directly, so it should be Ava.
Any other person who can, who would be asked about that, or just to have a,
Once if it's you, it's you, I would assume Ava, although Ava, I think, was on the meeting, so we can ask her if there was any, if
It's
there's
probably
anyone else.
best to send it to me and then I can distribute it amongst the staff.
great, the change has been noted.
Okay, with that change noted, then can we have a vote on accepting the minutes?
Yep.
Everyone in favor?
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Okay, it looks like it passes. Okay,
You guys lost Marlene.
so, sorry about a second. Okay, so I would like to thank our past members for their service and welcome the new folks who Jasmine reminds me aren't technically new since we had the other meeting. So let's go to Chaim for update on projects to train new catalogers.
Okay.
Do we just want
thank you,
to, sorry, did we just want to point out who the current members of the committee are?
Yes,
Just for everyone's
so
reference.
Our current members are Lily Brown, Stanford University. Say hi. David Floyd, Binghamton University.
Hello.
Nora Dolliver, New York Public Library. David Roth of NLI. And Chaim Gottschalk, who we're going to hear from. Is that good? And of
That's
course,
good.
me, Daniel Scheide at FAU.
So this is coming from, there's a couple of things happening. One is cataloging forums. We just had one recently. There was the one by Judith Alshawi Schlager. It was an introduction to manuscript waste. A part 2 is coming up soon. Actually, some cataloging practices or approaches to bringing out manuscript waste in a record. That's still in the works. We have 2 courses also working from the education committee, which is one is cataloging rare Hebrew materials, Hebrew books primarily. That's going to probably be around May. Chaim Meiselman will be the one teaching that, and Jasmine will be doing a Hebrew grammar for Hebraica cataloging around July, August, after the conference at some point. Did we said right, Jasmine, or was it August? Something like that. After the conference for sure.
Yeah, and we'll need to revisit to make sure that we're not duplicating efforts for the Hebrew for Catalogers class that's being offered through the
Sure.
AJL JTS certification program. So.
Okay, so that will have to be revisited at some point, but yeah, that course, that program kind of conflicts with quite a number of things. There is one other course that's still in the works that is assigning Hebraica, Judaica, LCSH as well. So that's still being in the work. So that's the in terms of courses from the cataloging workshop series of the education committee. And lastly, in addition to cataloging forum, which is a kind of like a best practice thing, we also have the cataloging clinic, which is a little bit more, I won't say closed, but it's a limited group. And that is more like a collective mind approach and how we kind of work with each other. And Lily and Ari are involved as well. So that's the update for training new catalogers and existing catalogers as well. Current catalogers.
Okay, excellent. And Chaim again for he had an idea about a cataloging mini conference. So for 2025.
Okay, so this was just an idea. So unlike cataloging forum, which is like a best practice, and cataloging clinic, which is kind of assisting at each other, what I was thinking for the mini conference is taking Judaica cataloging into a discipline, kind of so looking at cataloging from a historical, sociological, geopolitical approach and presenting at a mini conference, like a winter conference, maybe I was thinking vision, like maybe 6 sessions totals across 2 days, like 3 hours and 3 hours, something very small, February, where it wouldn't conflict with anything else. This way, making thing that so cataloging, as opposed to just what we do for the LC update in June or anything else, this would kind of treat it more as an academic discipline, and presenting this academic like papers that will be, and I was thinking not just RES, but maybe also SSC. Yeah, so we're just an idea, and it's something we could revisit later on. I thought maybe a small group, it would be like a subcommittee or a subgroup, would maybe work with this, and we could see how it goes. It's just an idea. So I don't think we actually have much. I know ALA has some things like this, like with their core, but it would be nice to have something strictly for Judaica cataloging.
I guess my question would be, what would be the advantage of doing this over just having more cataloging sessions at the regular annual conference, or just doing it how we've been doing it throughout the year?
Into cataloging forums.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Oh, okay. So the cataloging forums are just meant for best practice. So it doesn't treat it as a discipline. This is like how it's done here, or maybe an introduction to. So that's the difference between the cataloging forum and this. You're right about presentations in June, but we don't have that many. We usually maybe, aside from the LC updates, if we have one, then we have maybe one, but we don't have. This would kind of put everything together into one mini conference as well. It's we don't have that many cataloging sessions that comes up during the conferences over the years too. So
right, so that's the question. Why not have that as part?
We could. I mean, it would be up to the conference committee to encourage more sessions devoted to this.
I think it's a symbiotic relationship. If people propose sessions, then the
Right,
conference planning committee
right.
will be happy to accept them. I think there just haven't been many proposals in the past few years.
But maybe a mini conference might encourage more people to do that. I don't know. But it would be nice to see more. That's the thing.
Right.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking if we can't get enough people to present, cataloging related stuff at the regular conference, it would be a much more difficult task to find enough people for a specific conference on cataloging. So, I mean, it would be great, but
right. Yeah. It's cataloging is not easy. I mean, it's a mundane thing. So it's not as exciting as collections. That's thinking. Maybe if we throw in champagne or something to encourage people to join.
I don't know if it's necessarily mundane, except that is as opposed to like, I think like reporting, cataloging problems is more of a like step-by-step process versus I think conference proposals can be a little bit more abstract in that way. So I don't personally, I don't see it as like a knock against like what we do.
Right.
I see it more as in terms of what I think conference presentations seek to accomplish. I think a cataloging specific one would be, I don't know, like, and this maybe be fun for all of us, but like, this is
Right.
the book that I had. This is the
Right.
challenge I face, and this is my solution to it, which isn't
Right.
necessarily a bad thing. It's not surprising to me that
Right.
it's not as popular.
Right. But if we rethink it, repackage it though, like the well, what I've been interested in for a while is the history of the development of the BM schedule, you know, of how that came to be. So historical approach. You know, we've
And I
talked
think that
about,
would be a great session presentation.
I did that
Um,
last summer. Yeah.
yeah, or even if we had a panel on different areas of the class schedule, like the Hungary class section.
Yeah, which
or-
is coming up too. Yeah, we have another discussion on that. But you know, just rethinking it, you know, that's all. I mean, moving away from best practice, you know, which we do anyway already, and the clinic, which is a way of helping us out. It's just a different way of looking at cataloging. And you know, I know papers have been presented or written up for sure. I know I think there's a journal called Cataloging Classification that has these things. And then there is we have the occasional thesis, as when I know Vanessa Friedman wrote one on history of Judaica, I think classification.
Okay,
But yeah,
so
but
just to, sorry, Chaim, just to make this more practical, do we all want to try to encourage more cataloging sessions at the annual conference? Do we want to do something separate like Chaim's idea, or do we want to kind of drop this idea as a practical thing? I'm kind of leaning towards the first one myself, but
Can I just say, like, we've had a long history of having cataloging panels at the national or international conference. And there's no reason why we can't do that again. It's there, it's a forum, it's waiting for us on all sorts of topics, LCSH, classification, searching, all you name it. And so I think that's the first place to go. If there's no room, or the sessions are all filled up, then we should look at alternative options.
so maybe what the next practical step would be for me to be in contact with the conference committee to see if we can to first see if there's room for that in the conference, and then be proactive in reaching out to members of our community to present on that. And I'm going to get to Caroline in just 1 second. And Racheli is pointing out that she would love to get cataloging related submissions in JL. So that's a big thing. And I think that the idea that Chaim just discussed about the BM schedule would be a great place to start. So Caroline.
Yeah, I was just thinking, ALA has pre-conferences. So I'm wondering if a panel kind of a thing could be like a half day pre-conference. If there's no room in the schedule for in the regular conference, because the schedules seem to be pretty packed. Not so much cataloging directly focused, but relevant sessions that are of interest to catalogers, like international librarianship and various other things that are there. I find myself really busy at AJL, even though only like 1 or 2 sessions are directly cataloging focused. So maybe a pre-conference, half-day pre-conference, full-day pre-conference, or something along those lines.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think I suspect I can look into it, but I suspect it may be a little late to do that this year. And since we're doing I don't know if we would want that in 2025, given that it's a online, or I guess it wouldn't make a difference. Since it's gonna be an online conference next year. But yeah, I think that might be a good thing to suggest. Sharon?
Oh, I wasn't muted. Sorry. I guess I was just thinking, I think that, I don't know if the date is passed for submissions for conference proposals. And so maybe you can talk to the committee and find out if we can try to add a panel.
Jasmine?
I was just going to comment on the proposal for a pre-conference. To the extent possible, I would try to avoid that because that would be requiring or expecting or asking people to come earlier, which means paying for possibly an extra hotel night stay and things like that. So to the extent that we can fit within the conference schedule, I think we'll be more likely to have greater attendance. But that's, of course, assuming there's room in the conference schedule. And I don't know if the deadlines have passed and how flexible those deadlines are for this summer's conference.
Yeah,
I
and
was
also
thinking-
that would be go ahead.
I was thinking of like a virtual pre-conference. That would be more inclusive.
Sure. Yes, that would
Yeah.
work.
And plus, I think that, for the folks scheduling the conference, that would be an extra burden and try to figure that out, given that, conferences usually start on a Sunday and then to allow people or Shomer Shabbat to, deal with that. So, yeah, I think it might be an added layer of complication that we may not want. So, what is the consensus is that we will speak to the conference committee and we'll go from there. Okay,
Good,
so
sounds good.
we good to move on to the LCSH stuff? So Marlene was heading a task force on Christian bias in LCSH, and I know that the task force met at least once, I think. Marlene, I thought she was here. Are you here?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Please.
Okay, so I looked over the list that we had. We had a list that Ari posted online, and it's a file, and I looked through to see what progress has been made. We have been lucky that Mohels has been established by LC with a cross-reference to Mohalim, which is nice because that's what I call it. And then we have, I sent surrogates to Jasmine on the threat of divine destruction and mashgichim. And I don't know what happened with that. We have to ask Jasmine if there's any movement on that. But I did
think I
send
was waiting
surrogates.
for, I think I had responded regarding the threat of divine destruction that it would be very challenging to have as a subject heading, and that probably post coordination would be the more, the way that LC would want catalogers to approach that.
What would they like?
Post coordination, so using other subject headings that get at that subject, that topic.
Yeah.
And as for Kasher's Mashgichim, I think we
Yeah.
just, I think it's a fine subject to propose. I can see where that is in the pipeline.
Okay. The next thing was BC and AD, that's being handled by another committee. I forgot what the name of the committee is. Jasmine, what's the name of that committee that has to do with Native Americans?
Oh, so LIPA, the Latin American and Indigenous Peoples of the Americas funnel, which is coordinated by Sarah Levinson.
Okay, so that is in the pipeline. I understand it's not high priority, but it's still sitting there. Jews of color, who proposed that? That's in the file. Someone put it into the file with a whole description of what they want to do and why they think it's a necessary heading. And I don't know who proposed it, but it's there. Jews of color. Does anybody remember that? All right. I can't do anything about it. I don't even know who, who proposed it or who has a title that goes with it. Okay. Then we have, we still have a problem with Orthodox Jews. They've always been a problem. We have ex-Orthodox Jews. We have ultra-Orthodox Jews, but we don't have Orthodox Jews. That's kind of strange, especially if you have ex-Orthodox. I mean, it's obviously they were Orthodox at one time. I mean, maybe there is such a heading as Orthodox Jews, but there isn't. So I think we have to take care of that. And maybe I'll work on that. I think I would like to work on that because that's kind of obvious to me. Okay.
I also
Marlene?
think ultra orthodox is starting to be thought of as a pejorative term, and we should perhaps think of another term to replace it.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that, but we have unfortunately a heading what is it? Is Palestine colonization? Oh, that's a sticky term.
We're getting to that soon.
Yeah.
Roger had a
Right. Okay, so we have.
well, I'm sorry, Marlene. Roger.
Yeah,
Jeff?
Marlene,
Yeah.
the previous people at PSD were not in favor of creating a subject heading Orthodox Jews because it's hard to define what is an Orthodox Jews versus ultra-Orthodox Judaism and modern Orthodox Judaism, which I proposed, and I will mute myself.
Yeah, I don't think there's a problem with that because it's in the book. If the book says this is a book about Orthodox Jews, then accept it. Whatever. I mean, we're basing our subject headings on books that we catalog. If the book says it's about Orthodox Jews, I'm willing to accept it. I don't have to define the term. The author is defining the term. And
Yes,
ultra Orthodox is another problem. If you want to change it to Haredim or something, I mean, I don't know. It's just, these points are very, nuanced and they're very fine points. So, I mean, we can look into that, but,
I'm
that's
just bringing to you what the previous editorial meeting policy was until, 4 or 5 years ago. I just don't want you to spend time if it would not be productive, and I will mute myself.
okay. But if you say that, Orthodox Jews don't exist, so you have ex-Orthodox Jews, they exist, and you have headings like Orthodox Judaism employment. I mean, it's ridiculous. You can't employ Judaism. You have to employ Jews. I mean, it's just all right.
But before we move on, David Floyd had a.
This is sort of next to the topic of establishing this as a subject heading, but Orthodox Jews was established in September in the demographic groups terms list. So that may also be part of the equation is the nuances of establishing headings that are also demographic group terms. Just wanted to add that into the
except that the last time I discussed this, Chaim said that if it's a demographic term, it counts for nothing as far as the subject authority is concerned. So we have to establish
I
a
wouldn't say it
subject
counts. No, I wouldn't say it counts for nothing.
Would you want to reference it? You can reference it in a 670 note. Is that what you're saying?
Right. No, they're two different. They're independent.
So what the question is, what does the effect of having a demographic term have on establishing a subject? None. That's what you said. Basically, none.
No. It's no. All right.
How would you define the relationship between the two?
No, what I'm saying that they are two independent vocabularies.
Yes, but if you're establishing a subject heading, do you mention the fact that there is a demographic term?
Some people do. Some people do mention it, but it's not the primary 670. It would be
right.
Or maybe a second or third, but it's there. But it's just
exactly
they're independent of each other. They're not meshed together.
Right.
Okay, so just because we've got our big hot button issue coming up next, so what is the status of this task force, because we're kind of getting on to other LCSH topics. So what are we doing with the current task
Well,
force?
the idea was that people would volunteer to work on one or the other heading. I haven't seen any volunteers, so I've been working on some of them. You know, I would like people to say, yeah, I'll take one. I'll work on it. I'll see.
What
you
does
know.
that mean? Do you have literary warrant? Do you have a book in hand? Submit it to Jasmine. What is this working? Like, what is the
I submitted a few of
Great.
the surrogates to
And let's do
Jasmine.
that with the others.
Well, someone has to be willing to work on it. I mean, take for example, Christianity and other religions. I want to change that to Christianity, relations, whatever, because all the other religions are just the religion relations with another religion, right? Why should it be Christianity and other religions? Because it's Christian bias. It starts with with the term Christianity being the main religion, and the others are just, side issues. So if you want to do that, I don't know where you go with that, because you can't, there's no book that says Christianity and other religions. It's just like an outdated heading. I don't know how to, I mean, you can justify, any book can be justified, Christianity relations Judaism, Christianity relations Islam. I mean, every book has that. The question is, how do you indicate that you want to get rid of that heading and other religions?
Right. So I don't want to interrupt Marlene, but I think that we're not going to solve all these problems in today's meeting. So let's try to figure out, and I think that some of these issues can be diverted to perhaps to the cataloging clinics. But are we going to keep going with this task force, or try to examine it in another forum, or?
Well, we could have another meeting of the task force. I don't know who they are. Who there were 5 or 6 people that said they'd be willing to work on this, but haven't done any work on it.
So maybe you could send out emails to the members of the task force and see if there's still interest. Does that sound like a good plan?
Okay.
And I think the next 2 things are kind of related. So we'll have Jasmine and Aaron talk about the new and revised subject headings and stuff. And Chaim, you can kind of pipe in if that relates to your concern, and if not, we will. I'm
going to leave that to Jasmine and Roger.
Okay.
Okay, so I was just, do I have the option to share screen? No, okay. So I put some links in the agenda, which I can also copy here in the chat, about the updated subject headings. And I will try to get the link to work without.
Yeah, I think I just gave everyone
the $sign, so.
Ooh, okay.
Can someone tell me if the link works?
It won't. It's which one are you looking for? I'll do a search on my end.
No, the link does not work.
You should try sharing screen again, because David said.
Okay, all right. I will try again. Let's do this, share. And okay, do you see the agenda on your screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so the subject heading is this page. So these were subjects that were discussed and approved in the August 23 editorial meeting. I guess not everything was discussed, but this is the classification. These are the subjects. So we had some sessions, we had some several emails went out, and we talked about the proposals that our group, which was Roger and Aaron at Library of Congress, myself as a funnel coordinator, and 2 representatives from LC's PTPL, working together to try. And again, what got the ball rolling on this was a book that had interpersonal relationships between Palestinian Arabs and Israeli Jews, and the subject headings as they currently stood did not satisfy those needs, specifically Jewish-Arab relations. Okay, Jewish-Arab relations. So you'll see that it was originally about relations between Arabs and Jews and question of national rights in Palestine. That was changed. It is now only about general relations between Arabs and Jews. One of the more controversial changes that were made with dissent were the addition and approval of Palestine question as subject headings, qualified by date before the establishment of the State of Israel and after. So you can read the scope notes there. In general, I can just say this is now what we have. Hopefully people will be able to use these subject headings. They'll find them usable and applicable to the works that they're cataloging. So are there any questions about these subjects? Aaron, did you want to add anything that I missed?
Was there a class? that was added
Yes,
or
I was
changed?
starting with the subjects. I was going to move to the class, but were there any questions or comments about the subjects?
No. Great work, by the way, on that.
Hearing none, I'll move to the classification. This was mostly cleanup to close the first intifada and the second intifada, adding a caption heading to say that this new subject, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict 1993-2, which didn't exist, now exists and has a place in the class schedule. Any questions or comments on classification?
Oh, Jasmine, if you go up just a little bit to Sadia Gaon, that took a lot of work, but Aaron and I worked on this, updating and adding new classes to all this range. So and the big thing was because Sadia Gaon is a philosopher and he could be in one of 3 places. One of them is BM 755, I think it was. The other one is in BJ for philosophy, but Sadia Gaon kind of predates some of that and was followed the pattern of Maimonides. That's the schedule here in BM. So because most of the books were here, it was less work doing it this way. That's why this is an anomaly, but it was easier to work in this direction. So I just bring it because this was already up. So I just wanted to bring this up. I think all of them proposed were about 12 we worked on. I think everything is in place. So this is as more of an update.
All right. And again, those pages are linked from the agenda and those links do work. So I'm sorry, pasting those links in the chat didn't work. Aaron, anything to add?
No.
Okay. So I will stop my share and or at least I will attempt to stop.
Thank
my
you,
share.
Jasmine, for the update on that.
Sure.
Excellent. Now, Chaim, you were going to bring up some other
No, that
issues
was
with
it.
you.
That was the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since I still have my mic on, I will add that there will need to be work on the current conflict or war, depending on how you want to call it. And names are still undetermined, whether it's the Israel-Hamas war, whether it's the Gaza war. Of course, there are added dimensions with Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen. So the Gaza war doesn't exactly work, but
So once the first book comes out in March or so, start working on it.
yes, presumably. I'm sorry, I'm struggling with my Zoom.
You're good. So I think the next thing that we're going to discuss, Jasmine had something brief about the NACO funnel.
Yes, I did want, unfortunately, I'm not seeing her present. I did want to formally welcome Mirit Lerner at the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum who is our latest addition to the NACO, our Breaka NACO funnel. And that's very exciting for all of us. So welcome Marit and Absentia.
And Chaim was going to give us the latest update in a long continuing series
Yes,
about the
so-
Hungary classical numbers.
Okay, so just as Larry said, actually, we need to work to make this possible. We just do need a group because it's a bigger project. If we wanted to go beyond Hungary, it's the big thing is we have to. I think I mentioned this last time, but I can use extra support. Because the wasn't that long ago where it was not approved, the change for Hungary because it's all based on LC. So but we needed like kind of to write up a small paper why this was needed, and then how to go back to the proposal. The work is already there, the actual proposal. We just need a little bit more extra attention. So if anybody interested in working on this, let me know. We could probably pursue it. There is interest, by the way, in the policy office to make it, but it is work. But it has to show why the decision was not, I won't say not a good decision, but why we need to actually have this. That's the BM on Hungary, but as long as we're on that, it's to revise that whole area based on the Ukraine model. That's also doable too, and that came up in discussion not long ago. The policy office. There's two
Chaim,
options.
can you
It is
just,
work. It is work, yeah.
Just for note-taking clarification purposes,
Oh, yes.
can you just in the chat write what area of the class schedule you're referring to?
Yeah, let me dig it up because I keep forgetting what it is. BM
Thank
200 something. Yeah, I'll get it. I'll do it shortly. That's I have to find it. Okay.
Excellent. And David, with the NLI updates, do you have a chance to David Roth, I should say.
Hi. You hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So the first update is that we actually moved to the new building. We opened to the public. I think it was delayed by a week or so because of the war, but we've been fully open for a couple months now. They're still organizing the rare books, which are mostly unavailable at the moment, but that should be taken care of in the next couple months. And basically the new building is completely functional, and we closed the old building as of January 1st. Regarding the Dicta project, we sent some stuff to Avi and he hasn't had a chance to deal with it. I think he was more recently in touch with catalogers in the Library of Congress. So if they have any updates, they might have more recent information than us. And the third thing that I want to mention is the new ULI. ULI has moved over to Alma. It had still been in Aleph despite the library having switched to Alma a few years ago. So so the default ULI.
Maybe can you put it in the chat?
Sorry?
You can put that in the chat.
Yeah. Yes, 1 second. I'll get you the
I'll
name.
put the switch that David is going to talk about in the chat.
Yeah. So ULI, this website is now the new ULI.
Can we still access the old ULI?
Yes. So for
Amazing. That's what I was looking to get the link for because I couldn't find it
1
online.
second. So the new ULI is Here, 1 second.
David, we put in the chat what has to get
Yes.
replaced. Just be aware that it's not HTTPS.
Yes,
It
the
won't work
old
with
one has to
HTTPS,
be
just with
HTTP without the S. That will stay for the next year or so. We are working on a primo for the Mifal. And we've removed all of the Ladino from the Mifal, which has that information has now all been transferred to the main NLI catalog. We have a new metadata team run by Aria Locke. If you have any questions about any of this, you can send him an email, which I will post in a second. He's now in charge of the metadata team, so any technical questions should go to him. And Sylviane retired as of January 1st. So Miyun Rambi is now under the general cataloging. It's not its own separate division. And Aviad Rosenberg is in charge. So you can address any questions about Rambi or subject headings in NLI to him. I can send his email 1 second.
So I'm sorry, I'm trying the old ULI link, but it still goes to the Merchav. Like it still shows
No,
through the.
you can't use just that part of the link. Whatever your link you used to use, you can see from what Lily sent, it has a /f/. So
Yes,
you
got
replace
it.
whatever you used to have before the /f/ with http://olduli.nli.org.il, and the link will then work.
Amazing. Okay, thank you. I'll try that.
And that will work for the Mifal. It will work for the authorities. It'll work for the old ULI, but we're going to stop updating the old ULI, not the authorities, the old ULI by the end of the month. So BIB records will only be updated in the new ULI. Authority records will be updated in both interfaces.
There were a couple of hands up. I just want to make sure that everyone got their questions answered. Yeah, Roger?
Yeah, I would like to point out that for Caligo, we're dedicated to record the ULI system number. The new system number doesn't record the old system number. So whatever you put in your tracking information is now not easily accessible.
Do we not have a 035 with the old number like we did?
No, because we did a reclamation project for everyone. So new ULI is completely new. But what we are working on is a system of permanent URLs that will represent like a VF number.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Cluster.
That would be
the
great.
Permanent URLs will represent clusters and they will be stable.
But
so what about all of the links in Wikipedia, in Hebrew Wikipedia to ULI?
That's why we're working with our Wikiped to fix everything up.
But there will not be correspondence between the old ULI.
Right, because remember, any old ULI system number wasn't stable. It could change from week to week on that cluster.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
Because
Thanks.
It depended on whoever was the master record, the system number could change.
Okay. Done. All good? Is that excellent?
All good.
Okay, so thank you. One thing
Sorry,
that.
I have a
Oh,
I have a
go ahead.
question.
Go ahead.
And if this is an inappropriate use of Ahava or David's time, I would love to be shown how to access the authority file in the new ULI, if that's a feature that we can learn at this time.
We're working on creating a Primo just for authorities. It uses coalition funds, so it's being delayed a little, but hopefully, and when we have that ready, then I will be glad to offer the cataloging forum.
Awesome. Okay,
How to.
great.
How about maybe next year then, after conference? That's an idea.
Yeah,
If it's ready.
and if we're already talking authorities, I will say this, David, I'm sorry I didn't tell you this, but it was only decided today at 6 p.m. We, in addition to the authorities, we've already created for the Nova Music Festival for the 7th of October and for Charavot Barzel, we have also decided that we are creating authority records for all the hostages, all the fallen, and all of the soldiers that have been killed. So we'll be creating in the next few weeks, unfortunately, over 2,000 authority records. So when you get books, it will be already established Hebrew and certainly for the soldiers, Lat forms.
All right, but those, I'm not sure if they'll be showing up in the LC NAF because.
They will
No,
show
what I'm
in
saying is if you
VF.
ever need to use them,
Right,
they're
in
already
in
established
VF,
by us,
in
yes.
VF,
so feel free to borrow.
And then we can use that to create the
Right.
records in the NAF. Amazing. Thank you so much, Ahava. That is a big lift.
And eventually, if we do a mini conference, I'm actually thinking about submitting something about authority work and mental health, because this is not going to be an easy project.
I don't know if you have to wait until a mini conference. I would be interested in hearing a panel on that this summer.
Yeah, absolutely. Are we done with the NLI stuff? Should we move on to I just want to bring up before we adjourn and before we there was a comment in something in the comments I didn't want to get lost. Emily Bergman brought up that in proposing ideas for the cataloging ideas for the conference that SSC relevant topics would also be very welcome. So people just keep that on your radar. And Carolyn, do you have
Yeah, with regard to authority work and mental health, I think that would tie in with the whole broader discussion of ethical description and how that would relate to Judaica and Israel related cataloging. I think that's a huge component of the discussion.
excellent point?
I just want to respond to Emily's comment, which is well made. Just this cataloging committee is from the RAS division, and it would be very helpful if there are cataloging topics that the SSCPL division would like addressed, if we can have some more communication, because we have no way of knowing what is, what's on the SSCPL librarians' minds if we don't hear.
That's a good point.
Excellent. Thank you.
Maybe it would be good to bring that up. Is there?
Oh, Daniel, I got one thing. Talk about cataloging. There is a parallel cataloging clinic for SSC, which was started not long ago. Another one will be coming up in January. I'll send out a date for that. But it's that's completely from the education committee, just getting it started. So Emily, that's addressing that question in a kind of an aside. But yes.
Excellent. Do we have anything else before we call today?
This was a productive meeting.
Amazing. Awesome. Do I need to call for a vote to adjourn, or do I unilaterally make it happen?
You have the power. Just adjourn.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you everyone for showing up, for having a great meeting.
Wait,
And
I'm
I
so
will, yes.
sorry. I have
No,
one
no.
logistical question.
Go for it, go for it.
Where do I send these notes to?
Assign it to Daniel or to Jasmine, actually.
Can send to both of us, because
Yeah.
I'm just the one who posted to the wiki. That's the only
Okay.
reason why I would be copied.
Yes.
Fabulous.
Or,
Thank
or
you.
Lily, if you do, you can send it to the committee to just review before the next meeting too.
I can do that as well. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Awesome.
Bye.
Oh, wait, is somebody saving the minutes? The notes transcript? The chat transcript?
Oh, let me figure out
I
how to do
just
that.
downloaded it, so
Okay.
Lily, I can just send it to you.
I think Lily may have left already.
Okay, let me
Yeah, you
make
can
sure
send
that
it to
I,
Lily and to me. That'd be
yeah,
cool.
I'll send it to Lily. All right.
Excellent.
Bye,
Thank you, Nora.
everyone.
Glad you were able to come on. All right, Marlene, you're up as far as the